Okay, so in this week, we're going to cover the top topics: prospecting for diamonds, contacting people, what to say to them, and how to handle objections. And we're going to look at a points activity sheet, which is a really good practice. So just to review week one, so by now you should have your product stories, your business stories, you should have your goal book or goal board. You should be talking to new customers. You should have registered with qlsonline.net and www.soaringteam.com, which is a really important website that we used, and also have new recruits. So why do we prospect? Developing your contact list. We're going to look at different methods of prospecting and building your pipeline. So generally, people fall into three categories. Those people who love to prospect, those people that they're uncomfortable, but they do it anyway, and then those that do not like to prospect at all. So which category do you see yourself in? There's people that are frightened, they put it off, they'll go out of their way to avoid talking to people, but those type of people, success will always elude them. So it's important that we're heading towards a category of those who love to prospect. There's also three types of prospects. There's those that are looking for something right now, so they've got an acute interest. There's those people that are curious, and they'd like to find out more. They've got a moderate interest. And there's those that have little or are not interested at all. So this is a really interesting survey, and basically a survey was done of 10 reasons why people join a network marketing company. So this is really important information for us because it tells us what people are looking for before they join a network marketing company. Oops, sorry, just skipped to the next slide. So basically, the first thing, the number one most important thing that people join a network marketing company is about who gave the presentation. So it's about you. So if you're presenting information to people, you are the most important thing to the person. So it's really important how you come across, how you carry the information, how you talk about the information. If you're prospecting online, then again, your profile, your Facebook profile, that's really important. People will be going onto your Facebook profile to see who you are, what type of person you are, and whether they want to be part of your team and whether they want to be part of your organization. So, the way you come across on online is really important. Are you coming across as a positive person, as a happy person, or are you coming across as kind of like always complaining about something or miserable about something, or negative? People are attracted to positive people, and people are attracted to positive posts and things like that. So, your online image should be very positive, very attractive. So people are attracted to you and they want to actually be part of your organization or your team. And even if you're speaking to people face to face, you need to have that inner belief and that self-belief, because that's what people pick up on. If you're going to be talking to people and you're kind of umming and ahhing and using weak words, then people are going to pick up on that straight away, and they're not going to want to be part of your organization. So you are the most important people. You're the biggest reason why people will join you or your team. The second is upline support. Again, that includes yourself, because you're going to be part of their upline. The third thing is the marketing plan and the potential earnings. That's really surprising. I mean, when I saw this, I thought it would be the marketing plan, but obviously not. So, the marketing plan, our marketing plan is absolutely amazing. Our potential earnings are uncapped. So, we're really fortunate that we've got something so strong to work with. The fourth is the training provided. So, we know that Forever provides amazing trainings and events. And then we have a lot of trainings online as well. The fifth thing are the products. Our product range is outstanding. You know, I have so many regular customers, so much, we have so much positive feedback about our products. And the sixth thing is being first in the area. So, you know, it's not a major issue if there's other people in your area. I mean, you know, there's people within the company whose neighbors, they live next door to each other and they run successful businesses. So it's not an important thing, and it's not actually important to the person as well. So at number 7, we've got the company literature. Number 8, we've got the image of the company, and then number 9 is the sales starter kit, and number 10 is the management experience. So let's look at different methods of prospecting. Obviously, we have our contact list, which is the first and foremost method of prospecting. Then we have Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. We have contact marketing or people shopping. There's face-to-face conversations with people, cards and flyers, put boxes and product launches are great for finding new team members. Local shows and exhibitions where you can go along and do a stall. Referrals, so you know, if people aren't interested, always ask if there's anybody else that may benefit from this opportunity. Local advertising in places like shops, post offices, places like that. You can put up, you know, a small advertisement. Satisfied customers is really good, because obviously getting a referral from a satisfied customers because they already have belief in your products. Talk to groups. There's also networking clubs in the area. There's online networking clubs as well. Be creative. Think of different ways of you know, prospecting. Think of different creative ways. There might be different ways that aren't actually on this list that you can think of how you can get this opportunity across to people. So it all starts with your contact list. This is really, really important. You need to develop a list of at least 100 people, UK and overseas. So, you know, when I say this to people, you know, that you need to start working on your who do you know list, and, you know, it needs to be 100 people minimum, they really kind of have this panic, and they're like, oh, I don't really know that many people. You will be surprised how many people you know. You will really surprise yourself. So this is not just people you want to talk to, or just people like who you class as your friends and your family. This is people who you know, people that you've had some form of contact with, you've had some interaction with them, so they're familiar with you. You don't have to be best buddies with them to actually present this information. So it could be, your local shopkeeper. Write them down. The person who deals with you at the checkout, write them down. You might not know their name, but just write a description down. You can find out their name later and add it to your list. And there's people like, your hairdresser, where your child's school teacher, people like that. They're in your network. That the lady who lives across the road, the postman. These are all people that you know. So they're not necessarily people that you speak to, or people that you class as your friend or family. Your window cleaner, that's somebody that you know. If you have a gardener, if you have a cleaner, whoever you have. And then there's people, every person has their own network of people as well. So if you have a partner or they have their own network of people as well. So you've got access to their network as well. So just really think about everybody that you know, and even if you don't know their names, like I said, just write down a description and then find their name. The next time you're at the checkout, notice what their name is. So what this is about, this exercise, is just about emptying your head and writing down every single person's name. Don't think, don't prejudge people, and don't think, am I going to contact them, or I don't really want to speak to them. That will all come with time as you build your confidence up. There's people that you might think, oh my God, I'm never going to speak to them. You don't have the confidence to speak to them. Like, I don't know, your doctor, for example. We have doctors in the business. And but you know, you might think, oh, no way am I going to say that to them, you know, what are they going to think to me or whatever. But don't worry about that yet. Don't prejudge yet. Just write down everybody's names. Contacting them is the second stage. So use the memory jogger. You all have a memory jogger in your First Steps to Manager book, and it's really, really good. It's really useful. Use it and just write down people's names. Use STEAM, the acronym. So think of people who are in sales. Think of people who are teaching. Teachers are really good at this business because it's all about teaching what you learn. Who's enthusiastic? Who's got a good, positive attitude? And who's in need of or likes money? Use the acronym FROGS. So think of your friends, relatives, organizations, geography. Don't leave any stone unturned. Just, you know, think of everybody and just write them down. And just remember that some people will join, some won't. And so what next? All you're doing is sorting out, you're sorting who is looking at the information, who is interested in an opportunity and who isn't. If people are saying no to you, don't worry. Don't let that get you down, and don't let that stop you either. You know, your business doesn't depend on people that aren't interested. Your business depends on you. So don't let anybody stop you in your course. Let go of the outcome. That's just so important. You know, don't focus on your result. Just learn to ask people. Just focus on your activity. So if you're going to be speaking to, let's say, 10 people a day, don't get to person number 5 and think, oh, you know, I've had 5 no's, that's it, I'm stopping. No, just keep going, because every no is a step closer to a yes. So yeah, that's really, really important, you know, that you keep focused on your activity, you commit to your activity, and you do it on a daily basis. Okay, so let's say you've done your list now. So take the first 15 names and do a quick profile. So if, you know, what's their occupation, how old are they, where are they located, are they married, hot button, this is the key information. What is it that you know about them that they want? So let's say, for example, within the first 15 people, you know, they're your relatives and your friends, and you know, for example, you know you have a friend who wants to go on holiday but she can't really afford it, or you have a friend that would like to spend more time at home with her family, but you know she needs to earn an income as well. These type of things are called hot buttons, because you know that's how you know what this opportunity can do for them. And then the other thing you can write down is things about their personality or their character, why you think they'd be good at this. You know, are they caring? Are they positive? Are they outgoing? You know, is it somebody that you'd like to work with? Why? Why would you like to work with them? So write down a few words about them. And then any other information, like, you know, the daughter has eczema or something like that. That will help you. So it's good to profile people before you speak to them, because it makes things clear for you in your head, so that, you know, you're not thinking while you're speaking to them. You know, if you've written everything down, a quick profile on a person, then when you speak to them, everything's very clear. You know exactly what to say, you know exactly why you're calling them. So if you're going to choose the method of making a phone call, here's how to do it. Firstly, keep it simple. This is really, really important. You know, I always say to myself that I'm going to have a 1-minute conversation with somebody. So keep it really, really simple. Don't try to explain the whole business to them. That is not why you're making the call. The reason for the call is to invite them to see more information. So make sure you have that mindset as well. Have the profile sheet in front of you. So again, that reminds you of what exactly you're going to say, and then know your objective as well. So why are you calling them? So is it that you want to meet up with them to show them more information about the business? Are you wanting to send them more links, some links, online links, or are you wanting to offer them a product? So focus on the needs of your prospect. Really important. Okay, so you know you've profiled them, you know what their needs are. Focus on their needs. You're making an invitation, not a presentation. Be excited about 20%. I'm not sure how that's measurable, but be excited, because your voice, the excitement in your voice will transfer. And if you're not very excited, if you're just kind of like, I don't know, let's say you're having a bad day and you're just like, you're on a low or whatever, it's going to transfer. If you don't have that excitement about the opportunity, about the business, they're going to pick up on that through your voice. Have your story ready. So, last week we learned about writing our business stories. So have your story ready, so that, you know what to say if they ask you how it's going for you. And remember, if you're very new in the business, in your story, you can talk about what you're wanting from the business, where you're wanting to go with the business. So, you don't have to have achieved lots to make an effective phone call. It's about, it's about having your goals as well. You can share your goals of what you're wanting to achieve from the business. Have your diary open to set up a one-to-one with them, for example. So let's say it's a friend of yours and you're wanting to meet up with her. Have your diary open, have dates for meetings, etc. So, so any questions, you can answer them. Okay, so remember, the objective of your call is to make an invitation, not a presentation. Always lead with the business first, because if you offer somebody the product first and they say no, then it's very difficult to go in with the business. You can't really say, oh, okay, let's talk about business, So always lead with the business. And here's how to do it, really. Invite them to see more information about the business. If they say no, then you can offer them the product. If they say no to that, then you can ask for a referral. Okay, so lead with the business again. If they say no, then you can go in with the product. If they say yes, and then you can again talk about the business to them, the business opportunity. So that's the way to do it. So, if you lead with the product, and then they say no, then you can always ask for a referral, but it's a bit difficult to go back and start talking about the business opportunity with them. So always lead with the business opportunity first and then go on to the products after. Okay, so some of the things that we should not be saying when we're speaking to people is things like, when you are ready, call me. Always set a date in the diary to follow someone up, to speak to somebody again. So, don't leave it to somebody for them to call you. Don't start listing the features of a product, saying things like product parties or I've got a little business. Network marketing is a word not to use as well, because most people don't understand what network marketing is, or if they do, they might have a misconception about it. Selling aloe, this business is so much more, it's so much grander than just selling aloe. So, if you're saying things like that, then you're not doing it justice. Talking about the price of the starter pack, that's something that you should not be mentioning at all. We have a business presentation that covers things like that. Product details, or giving an entire presentation over the phone. If you hear yourself, you're starting to give a presentation and you're starting to explain everything to people, stop. That is not what we need to do. That is not our role. Our role is just to invite people to see more information, and then we let the tools do the job for us. So, for example, you can either send them the links, or you can meet up with them and you can go through a presentation yourself, or you can invite them to a local business presentation. So, avoid doing any of these because they're really weak, and they don't give good results. So strong words is things like business proposition, dynamic company, over 30 years track record, health, nutrition and lifestyle, the next $1 trillion industry, home-based, high income potential, business partner, my business testimonial, I'm looking for some key people, full training and support. So these are strong words. These give a good reflection of the reality of this company and the reality of this opportunity. So, revise these words, learn them off by heart, and use them when you're speaking to people. So it gives the full scope of the opportunity. Okay, so there's different methods of making the call. There's a third party approach. So this is a nice way of speaking to people. If you're feeling kind of, it's like a non-confrontational way of speaking. So for example, you can say, "Hi Sam, it's Jane here. Do you have a moment to talk?" That's really important. Always ask people if they have a minute to talk, because the last thing you want to do is kind of ring somebody up when they're in the middle of something, and then it will totally knock your confidence if they're just like, "Oh, I'm busy now," or whatever. So always ask if they have time to talk. Great. The reason I'm calling is I've just started a business with the help of a friend and backed by a multi-million global company. We're looking for some good people to work with in your area, and I wondered if you knew anyone that might be interested. So, here's, it's indirect. You're asking them if they know anybody, which is, obviously it makes it less confrontational for yourself. Then there's the personality call. So again, you say, "Hi, how are you? Do you have a minute to talk?" Great. The reason that I'm calling is that I've just started a business with the help of a couple of colleagues and the backup of a multi-million-dollar global company. They asked me if I knew of any, and then you can put in like enthusiastic or friendly people, and I thought of you. Okay, so this is a great way of speaking to somebody. The personality call is something that I would make to somebody that I know quite well, a good friend of mine, or someone that you've spent some time with, and that they're passionate, or that you know something about them, and you know a reason why they would be good at this business. Okay, then you have the hot button technique, and this the way you can say this is, "Hi Sam, it's Jane here. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk?" Great. You know that whatever it is. So let's say for example they want a holiday. You know that holiday you have always spoken about with me. Well, I think I found a way for you to achieve it. Okay, or that you hate your job, and you was looking for a way out of it, and you've always spoken about it with me. Well, I think I have found a way for you to achieve it. Or that new car that you've always spoken about with me. Well, I think I have found a way for you to achieve it. Okay, so that's a really good way of speaking to people as well. This is making a call to a dissatisfied person. So, "Hi Sam, it's Jane here. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk?" Great. You have always said how much you hate commuting. Well, I think I may have found a way that you could stop commuting and see more of your family. I don't know what I have found is for you, but obviously only you can decide that. Why don't we meet for a coffee and I'll run it by you? I love this way. This is probably one of my favorite ways of speaking to people, especially this last sentence. I say this a lot. I don't know if it's for you, but obviously only you can decide that. Why don't we meet for a coffee and I'll run it by you? So, even if you're speaking to people over text or WhatsApp or Facebook, you can obviously type this out and send it to people and edit it, and use words that you would usually use. So making a call to a customer, a potential customer. So, "Hi Sam, it's Jane here. How are you? Do you have a moment to talk?" Great. I know that you've been bothered with digestive problems over the years. I've just come across an amazing product which I think can help you. Can I come round and show you what I found? So yeah, great way. Again, this can be edited to suit you if you're running mainly online. Okay, the usual response people have is, "Sounds interesting. What is it?" Okay, at this stage, it's really tempting. I know, especially if you just started new, it's really tempting to try to explain because you're excited and you have that drive inside you and you just want to explain it to everybody. But don't. Don't tell them. They don't need to know much more. Invite them to view the information. So either meet up with them and do a one-to-one with them, or send them the online links. Now it says here, send them a DVD. We used to use DVDs, but nowadays it's just easier to send a link over. So we have YouTube links. You could meet up with them on Skype or go to a meeting or something online, and you could do a one-to-one with them online as well. But don't try to explain things to them. Just invite people to view more information and then send them the information, or meet up with them and explain it to them. When people say to me, oh, okay, what is it that you do? I always say, I'd love to explain everything to you, but, whatever reason. So, for example, if I'm on the phone, I'll say, I'd love to explain everything to you, but obviously I can't really do it over the phone. I've got some links that explain it in more detail. Do you want me to send them over to you? Or, let's meet up and I can show you. So yeah, whatever is suitable for you. Okay, if they persist and they say, oh no, come on, just tell me, what is it? There's a few sentences you could use from this passage here. So, something on the lines of, well, Sarah, I can't really do justice to this company on the phone, but what I can tell you is that they are over 30 years old, trading successfully in over 150 countries, with a $2.6 billion turnover. Their product range is in the look good, feel good, take care of yourself sector, which, as you know, right now is booming, predicted to become the next trillion-dollar industry. What I would like to do is have half an hour with you to run some information by you. I think then you will see why I'm so impressed. If you like what you see, great, we can take it to the next step. And if you don't, then no problem. And then go on to, give them options. So is Friday at 7:30 good for you, or Saturday morning at, say, 11 a.m.? You could also include your story as to why you got involved. But like I said, the less is your conversation, the less you say, the better it is for you. As sometimes it can open up more questions. So, I try to avoid this part completely. But as you can see, if you're wanting to say something, if you're struggling to kind of resist, then look at the type of things that are being said here. That they're a 30-year company trading successfully in over 150 countries, $2.6 billion turnover. Key facts about the company, but really impressive facts. So, again, this is talking about strong words, and avoid using words like, yeah, I sell aloe vera, those type of weak statements. Okay, so some common objections that you might get. What is it? Is it XYZ company? Is it pyramid selling? Is it network marketing? Is it selling? Okay, so answer these questions by saying, that's interesting. Why do you ask that? The reason why we say this, the reason why we want to know this, is because people's perception of things is not always the same. So if somebody says to you, oh, is it selling? And you say to them, oh, no, it's not selling, they might actually have a positive feeling about selling. They might be looking for something to sell. But then sometimes if somebody says to you, oh, is it selling? And you say to them, yes, it is, they might have some misconception about selling, or they might have some negative thoughts about selling. They might think that, oh, selling involves knocking on people's doors, or doing something wacky like that. So you need to understand why people are asking these questions. So if somebody's asking you, is it network marketing, you need to find out the reason why they're asking you that question, so that you can understand where they're coming from. If somebody's saying to you, is it pyramid selling, just say, that's interesting, why do you ask that? Because so that you can understand what their definition of pyramid selling is, or what misconception they might have about the company, or even network marketing, or even selling. Why are they asking that? I always try to find out why they're asking if it's selling, and if it's something that they see as negative, oh, I can't sell, oh, I don't really want to go around knocking on people's doors. They'll tell you what they think to it, and then that way you can overcome that objection by using this feel, felt and found. It's an absolutely brilliant way of overcoming objections. So, if somebody says to you, oh, is it selling? And you say, oh, that's interesting. Why would you ask that? And then somebody says, oh, I hate selling. I can't do that. I can't, go around knocking on people's doors. Then this is how you overcome objections. You use these 3 words. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found is that by having, I'll tailor this specifically to selling, but what I found is that I don't actually sell my products, I recommend them, and it's by using them that I've built up so much belief, and I just pass that on to people. So I don't see myself as selling. If somebody says that, okay, I don't know, I'm not sure about, let's say, network marketing, then you can again say, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way about network marketing, but what I found is by having a good look at the information and getting my questions answered, that it's not actually what I thought. So, you can actually use this in so many situations. I use this so much. Talking, whether it's talking to customers, whether it's talking to potential team members, whether it's talking to actual team members as well, overcoming problems, overcoming objections. It's a really good way of kind of empathizing with people and communicating. It's a really good way of communicating with people, because sometimes when you feel that you're handling objections, sometimes people can get kind of confrontational about it. They feel, I don't know, like say if they feel really strongly about something, and you're trying to kind of change their view on something, then it's a really good way of empathizing with people. Okay, if your prospect says no, then thank them for their time. Ask if you can keep in touch with them over the coming months, and always ask for a referral. It's the worst thing that can happen if you ask for a referral is they say no. That's it. So always don't miss that opportunity of asking for a referral. So, for example, thanks, Sarah, for being honest. I'm sorry it's not for you right now. However, let's keep in touch over the next few months. In the meantime, I am looking for some quality people to work with, people like you. Do you know anyone who would be open to looking at a business that would give them not only a great income, but a fantastic quality of life? Okay, so, ask the question. If you don't ask the question, you might be walking by your next diamond manager. So, no harm in asking. If they still say no, you can go on to offer the product. Thank you for looking, listening. I appreciate how you feel. We have a fantastic range of natural everyday products, and I would love to drop a sample box around for you to try for free for a new days. So you can offer them a trial hamper, or you can offer them a free sample. If you don't ask, you don't get. So make the most of every opportunity to ask. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. So this is really important as well. If you've arranged a time with somebody, or if you've said to somebody that you're going to call them, always call them at the time you said you would. Always follow people up within 2-3 days. The longer you leave it, the more likely the prospect will lose interest. Know your objective as well. So, if you're going to make a phone call to somebody, then be clear on what your objective is. So if you're wanting to invite them to a business presentation, if you're wanting to arrange a one-to-one with them, you wanted to sit with them and show them more information. If you're wanting to send them information links, then know that, so that you're very clear on what your objective is when you're speaking to them. Okay, so here's some interesting statistics. You need to commit to contacting at least 12 people a week off your list every week for the first 3 months. I think that's a really low number. If you're working part-time, I would increase that. It doesn't take long to make a phone call or to message or drop a text. So, increase that number. And this is really interesting statistics. Of the 12 to 15 people that you contact, 6 people will say no. So remember, of the 12 to 15 people that you contact properly, so it's all about learning the skills of how to speak to people and what to say to people. So 6 of them will say no or not now. 6 will say will look at the information or meet. 3 to 4 people will come to a presentation, and 1 to 2 people will join your business. Okay, so these statistics are absolutely brilliant. But again, it's important that they apply to people that you're contacting off your list, and that you're using the proper methods and skills of contacting them. Okay, so activity. This is important. How serious are you? You know, if you're working part-time, contact 2 people a day. If you're working semi-part-time, contact 5 people a day. If you're working full-time, then contact 10 people a day. Okay, so, you know, this is an amazing opportunity, and it's up to you to make the most of it. And here's kind of a story about a guy called Philemon in Zambia. He joined in 2009. There was no products in Zambia. He used to drive to Tanzania or South Africa to get the products. He caught the vision, and he speaks to 15 people a day. Now he's qualified for profit share, car plan, global travel, and earns over $8,000 a month. Okay, so, you know, again, that shows his commitment. He's speaking to 15 people a day, but, you know, look at his achievement, look at his income, look at what he's achieved. And that was in a time where, you know, he's in Zambia, where there was no office there was no products there, and he has used this opportunity to build a phenomenal business. So, you know, what are you prepared to do? Look at the circumstances that you're in. Look at the opportunity that you have. You know, we have online trainings. We have a product center in the UK. We have a delivery system in the UK where our products get delivered to our customers. Not every country operates like that. So there's a lot of ease that we have. There's a lot of comfort that we have. You know, we have access to online trainings. We have trainings and events within our countries. We have success days that we can attend. So, you know, we have a lot compared to places like Africa, there's some places in the Middle East. You know, they're building phenomenal businesses, but they don't have the resources that we have. So, you know, make the most of everything that we have. And what is it that you're prepared to do to actually make your goals and achieve your goals and dreams and make them a reality? You know, speaking to 15 people a day, that's a brilliant, huge commitment, a really, really huge commitment to speak to 15 people a day. You know, think about that for a moment. He's speaking to 15 people a day, but it's not just speaking to them. It's you need to learn the skills. You need to write down a script of what works for you, and you need to, you know, then you need to speak to people. So this is a really good way, you know, if you're serious about your business and you're really wanting to achieve big things, then print this sheet off and, you know, assess yourself and see where you are. So, you know, give yourself points, and, you know, for phoning a prospect, doing a one-to-one, giving a DVD, you can actually edit that to links, following up a call, doing a business presentation, attending your local business presentation, taking a guest to a business presentation, recruiting a new assistant supervisor, doing a planning meeting with your new team member, duplicating your frontline distributor, phoning a customer, finding a new customer, doing a product launch, a pup drop, attending a success day or other training. So each of these activities are really important activities, and you get points for them. So then you can see on a weekly basis, you know, add it up, and then you can see how many points you're getting, and then you can see which category you fall into. You know, are you a diamond? Are you taking this business really, really seriously, and you're really wanting to achieve? You can tell yourself that. Are you good? Are you just an average kind of business builder with around 65 points, or, you know, around 35 points? So this will tell you which category you fall in and whether you really are taking your business seriously. You know, I do have people that say to me, oh, you know, I work really, really hard and I feel as though I'm not achieving the results. If you're one of those people that you feel as though you work really hard and you're not achieving results, then look at this points recording sheet, look at the activity on this points recording sheet, and ask yourself, print this off or just copy it out onto another sheet of paper and assess yourself. Then you'll be able to see whether you're doing activity that actually will benefit your business. Because a lot of time people do activity but it's just wasting time, especially if you're working on social media. It's really easy to do this. It's really easy to kind of get carried away and on social media and start wasting your time, and then you feel as though you've spent ages working when you haven't really. So this is the type of activity that you need to be doing. This is what you call income producing activity, and not kind of like time wasting activity. So assess yourself and see where you're at. Okay, so for homework and your 7-day plan is work on your goal book. We've talked about goals, setting, the importance of setting goals. Always be setting goals. Always look at new ways that you can inspire yourself. I mean, the other day I had to take my laptop in for repair, and again for the second time I was quite annoyed, and I was stood in Curry's, and I was looking at this MacBook. And I was like, right, okay, I've just set myself a new goal, because the guy behind the counter was like, very rarely do we have Apple products that come back in. So I set myself a new goal while I was stood there. I said to my husband, you know what, I'm going to get one of these MacBook things, and I'm going to get one of those desktop things. I don't even know what it's called, for the kids. And my son's got a Samsung tablet thing, and I said I'm going to get an iPad for him, because I'm fed up of things breaking down and I want to go all Apple. So they're my new goals. And like my husband was like, okay, what about me? So I was like, yeah, I'll get you a tablet. So always set yourself, keep looking. Setting goals is really important. It drives you, it helps you in your business, it gives you that boost, gives you that motivation. Profile your first 12 to 15 prospects. Again, profile people properly. It's really important that we're using proper methods of contacting people and not just, spamming or anything like that. Make 15 calls. I know people are a bit reluctant to speak to people, and it's kind of what scares them, in the beginning. But just overcome your fear, pick up the phone and speak to people. Once you've done it the first few times, I promise you'll be absolutely fine after that. So review your progress with 20 to 30 customers. Fill in your points sheet for this week. Continue to build your 100+ name list. Book your next training and event, and download the one-to-one presentation. The one-to-one presentation is available on the QLS website, which is qls.net. You can print it off. You can, if you're attending a success day, you can get a ready-made one for £5. That's the one that I use. It's really, really good. I really like using that. Keep changing, because when you're through changing, you're through. So it's really important that you're always ready to learn, and you're always ready to kind of step outside your comfort zone and try something new, because that will really help you develop your business. Okay, so that's the end of the presentation. Thank you everybody for listening, and I'll get week 3 out to you by next week. Okay, take care everybody. Have a fab week. Bye.